Well, good evening, everyone. This is a first. We're all together. I thought I'd never say those words again. Maybe we should do a quick game of Twister before we have to go our separate ways. But it really is wonderful to have you all here tonight, live at the lounge from the Folly Theater here in Kansas City. And we have a listening audience also who will be listening through YouTube. So we greet you too, and thank you for being with us virtually as we support the Folly Theater and live music in Kansas City and each other's morale tonight. That's why we're here. Through bushes and through briars, I lately made my way, all for to hear the small birds sing, and the lambs to skip and play. I overheard my own true love. His voice, it was so clear. Long time have I been waiting for the coming of my dear. Sometimes I am uneasy and troubled in my mind. Sometimes I think I'll go to my love and tell to him my mind. But if I should go to my love, he will say nay. If I show to him my boldness, he'll ne'er love me again. How glorious is the evening, how pleasant is the air. I would rather be in my true love's arms than any other where. I would rather be in my true love's arms than any other where. Shoo the balaga, 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 togger Yehuda, hulla me trura, hulla me trura, hulla me trura, hulla me kahara gudualan and kudrum, posse me geriba, posse me geriba, posse me geriba, posse me mani and dana high and run a figan, shoo the balaga, 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 togger Yehuda. Everybody, shoo the balaga, 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 togger Yehuda. Thank you very much. Beautiful lyrical love song from England called Through Bushes and Briars. And I followed that with a piece of Hebridean mouth music, which is quick rhythmic music from Scotland, from the islands off of the west coast of Scotland. And as we all know, Gaelic poetry is some of the most lyrical and beautiful in all the world. So here's a quick translation. It goes, "Get away with you, boys. Get away with you on down the road. I heard it from 3. I heard it from 4, that you should leave your childhood behind you. However, I will marry the brown-haired girl if she is telling the truth. That's it. I didn't write that. I wish I had. Kind of like a Zen koan. Oh, it's of a sea captain who sailed the salt sea, and the moon it shone gentle and clear. Oh, I'll die, this captain did cry, if I can't have that maid who walks on the shore, if I can't have that maid on the shore. So the sailors, they got them a very long boat, and off to the shore they did steer, oh, saying, "Ma'am, if you please, will you enter on board, to view a fine cargo of costly ware, to view a fine cargo of ware." And when they arove alongside of the ship, the captain, he spat out his chew, saying, "First you will lie in my arms all this night, and then I'll give you to my jolly young crew, oh, then I'll give you to my crew." Oh, thank you, this young girl, she cried. "It's just what I've been waiting for, oh, for I've grown so weary of my maidenhood as I walked all alone on my rocky old shore, as I walked all alone on the shore." And she sat herself down in the stern of the ship, and the moon it shone gentle and clear, oh, she sang so sweet and so neat and complete. She sang sailors and captain right fast asleep. She sang sailors and captain asleep. And she's robbed them of silver, she's robbed them of gold, she's plundered their costly fine ware, oh, the captain's broadsword she's used for an oar, and she's paddled right back to her rocky old shore, and she's paddled right back to the shore. Oh, were my men drunk? Oh, were my men mad? Oh, were they sunk deep in despair? Oh, they've led her away with her beauty so gay. How the sailors all wish that sweet maid was there. How the sailors all wish she was there. Oh, your men, they weren't drunk, and your men, they weren't mad, and neither sunk deep in despair. Oh, I've deluded your crew, and likewise yourself too, Captain. Now I'm a maid on my rocky old shore. I'm a maiden once more on the shore. I think that requires no explanation. From the singing of Frankie Armstrong in England. She was one of the great ones. I asked my love to take a walk, just to walk a little way, and as we walked along we talked all about our wedding day, and only say that you'll be mine in no other's arms entwine, down beside where the waters flow, down by the banks of the Ohio. I held my knife close to her breast, as into my arms she pressed. She cried, "My boy, I took her by the lily hand, led her down where the waters stand, and there I pushed her in to drown, and watched the water pull her down, and only say that you'll be mine in no other's arms entwined, down beside where the waters blow, down by the banks of the Ohio. I started home between 12 and 1, cried, my God, what have I done? I killed the only woman I loved, because she could not be my bride. The very next day, about 4:30, sheriff came round to my door, said, young man, come with me and go down to the banks of the Ohio, and only say that you'll be mine in no other's arms entwined, down beside where the waters flow, down by the banks of the Ohio. I asked my love to take a walk, just to have some time to talk, down beside where the waters flow, down by the banks of the Ohio. Thank you. Now that's a murder ballad. Well, just to remind everyone who is watching or who will be watching soon and joining us tonight that we are live from the lounge at the beautiful historic Folly Theater in Kansas City, and we're asking politely if you would please consider making a donation of any size to the Folly. It has had music in Kansas City for decades and decades, and even through this global pandemic and all of the heartache that goes with that, everyone here at the Folly, including you who are supporting it, is making it possible for live music to continue in this venue in Kansas City. So we would encourage you to press or Venmo or PayPal or scan or tap. Times have changed, and make your contribution to this evening. In my other life, I'm a camp cook and wilderness guide, but in my other life, I decided to take up the practical pastime of writing poetry. I thought it could keep my other careers going if they failed by any chance. So I've really enjoyed doing that, and I don't write the rhyming kind, but I wanted to share one of them with you right now. It's called Winter Count. Every day, I ride the crosstown bus from Blue Ridge Cutoff to Independence Avenue to Prairie Village and back. I pass tall buildings that block the sun, Tough earth where nothing grows, people with tight mouths walking to no home. And I know I must make a dream for myself to keep my heart strong. I lay my head against the glass and call forth a vision to shield me. Moon of frost on the teepee, moon of white ermine, moon when the deer strip bark. Moon of returning geese, moon of young grass appearing, moon when the sun opens daisies. Moon of black chokecherries, moon when the bison graze, moon of dragonflies floating. Moon when the plums are scarlet, moon when the pollen falls from the tassel, moon of dropping leaves. And so we count the year, winter count of our content. And as for me, I would flesh the hide of an elk. I can split fine sinew. I can sew leggings from the smoked tops of lodges. I can bring fire in all weathers, call a trout into my hands or a meadowlark, and stroke him until he sleeps. I know the secret of the 7 arrows. And as for me, I would go away from my people and this place. I would braid my hair and put aside cloth dresses. I would cut up my credit cards. These things I would do, and all the day long I would sing at my work. He honors me, he honors me. If only the human being they call red-armed panther, the proud one who follows me with his eyes, would trade his 9 fat ponies to my father and bring me under his blanket. This is the dream I make for myself on the bus to keep my heart strong. This is the vision I call forth. It's never too late or too early to start writing poetry. That's all I have to say. Eyes like the morning star, cheeks like a rose. Laura was a pretty girl, God Almighty knows. Weep on ye falling rain, wail winds wail, all along, along, along the Colorado Trail. Stars fading up above, lark starts to sing. Sky is rosy in the east. What will this day bring? Weep on ye falling rain, wail winds wail, all along, along, along the Colorado Trail. Face like a prairie flower, laughing all the day. Laura was a pretty girl, now she's gone away. Weep on ye falling rain, wail winds wail, all along, along, along the Colorado Trail. Weep on ye falling rain, wail winds wail, all along, along, along the Colorado Trail. All along, along, along the Colorado Trail. Thank you. sweet little cowboy song about the cattle trail that ran from probably southern Texas and I think cut through parts of Colorado and up into the railheads in Kansas back in the old days. And speaking of the old days, I'm going to start this next song with the first song I ever learned from my dad. I was born in Arkansas, as was my father and his 9 younger brothers and sisters, and my grandmother and all their family, and they all chopped cotton for a living. And they did what they had to do, but they also sang some wonderful old songs, and my grandmother knew a lot of ballads, and my dad would learn snippets of them. And so the first verse to this song, which is actually a song written by my good friend Bill Staines, this first verse that I'm going to open with is the one I learned from my dad. And if you happen to know this song, please feel free to sing along here in the lounge or wherever you may be. It's beefsteak when I'm hungry, whiskey when I'm dry, greenbacks when I'm hard up, and heaven when I die. Jack of diamonds, I know you of old. You have robbed my poor pockets of silver and gold. Oh, I once was a cowboy. I used to run wild in a rodeo and wrangled and rambled in style. But I'm too old for horses, too old for the show, and I'm too young for heaven. Now where shall I go? Where shall I go? Where shall I go? I'm too young for heaven. Now where shall I go? Oh, I once had a true love, and I made her my wife, and I swear I loved her near most of my life. But the cold of the winter and the wind laid her low, and she's gone on before me. Now where shall I go? Where shall I go? Where shall I go? She's gone on before me. Now where shall I go? Oh, I never was a drunkard, but this I will say, the taste of the whiskey gets better each day. The bartender scowled, you are drinking too slow, and we close in 10 minutes. Now where shall I go? Where shall I go? Where shall I go? We close in 10 minutes. Now where shall I go? Now it's out in the evening with the stars burning bright. Nothing but memories to share with the night. Oh, I once was a cowboy, and I used to run wild in a rodeo and wrangled and rambled in style. But I'm too old for horses, too old for the show, and I'm too young for heaven. Now where shall I go? Where shall I go? Where shall I go? I'm too young for heaven. Now where shall I go? Where shall I go? Where shall I go? I'm too young for heaven. Now where shall I go? Thank you, and thank you to Bill Staines, who wrote that great old song. It sounds like an old-timey one, but that's the kind of gentleman Bill is. He's also a crackerjack yodeler, and I met him on a cattle drive in Wyoming in the 1990s, and I threatened him if he didn't let me record this song, so we worked something out. But I do have a great love for the land, actually everywhere I go, but particularly out west, because that's where I've spent the most time. So this is a song that I wrote. I adapted the first verse and the chorus, and I loved the old song a lot, but I thought I'd write some new words just because I felt like it, and I decided the melody was too happy and jolly, so I slowed that down too. It's called I'm Going to the West. And feel free to sing along. Just say it. In this fair land I'll stay no more. Here labor is in vain. I'll seek the mountains far away and leave the fertile plain, where waves of grass in oceans roll into infinity. I stand ready on the shore to cross the inland sea. I am going to the west. You say you will not go with me. You turn your eyes away. You say you will not follow me, no matter what I say. I am going to the west. I am going to the west. I will journey to the place that was shaped by heaven's hand, and I will build for me a bower where angels' footprints mark the land, where castle rocks in towers high kneel to valleys wild and green. All my thoughts are turned to this, my waking hope, my sleeping dream. I am going to the west. You say you will not go with me. You turn your life away. You say you will not follow me, no matter what I say. I am going to the west. I am going to the west. And when sun gives way to moon and silver starlight fills the sky, in the arms of these last hills is where I'm bound to lie. Wind my blanket, earth my bed, my canopy a tree. Willows by the river's edge will whisper me to sleep. I am going to the west. You say you will not go with me. You turn your eyes away. You say you will not follow me, no matter what I say. I am going to the west. 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 Oh, the first time that I met my love, it was at the ball. I looked at her, I gazed at her, far above them all. But she looked on me with scorn disdain. And the bonny wee lass's answer was to no come again, was to no come again. And the bonny wee lass's answer was to no come again. Oh, the next time that I met my love, it was at the wake. I looked at her, I gazed at her, I thought my heart would break. But she looked on me with scorn and disdain. And the bonny wee lass's answer was to no come again, was to no come again. And the bonny wee lass's answer was to no come again. Oh, it being 6 months after, a little lower above, oh, Cupid shot his arrow, and he wounded my true love. He wounded her so dearly, which caused her to complain. And she wrote to me a letter saying, you might come again, oh, you might come again. And she wrote to me a letter saying, you might come again. Oh, well, I wrote her back an answer for to let her know, while life is in my body, it's there I would not go. While life is in my body, it's here I will remain. For I mind the girl who says no come again, who says no come again. For I mind the girl who says no come again. So come all ye pretty fair maids, a warning take from me. Oh, never slight your young man, whoever he may be. For if ye do, you're sure to rue and cause you to complain. And you rue the day you said no come again, you said no come again. And you rue the day you said no come again. Diddle, diddle, deedle, deedle, dum, beaten, deedle, deedle, piddly, diddle, deedle, dum, bite, diddle, die, diddle, deedle, diddly, diddle, beaten, deedle, piddly, diddle, deedle, diddle, diddle, by, diddle, deedle, deedle, piddly, diddle, deedle, da dum, da dum, diddle, deedle, diddle, beaten, deedle, deedle, piddly, diddle, deedle, dum, bite, diddle, die, diddle, deedle, diddly, diddle, beaten, deedle, beetle, diddle, deedle, diddle, bite, diddle, die, diddle, deedle, dum, by, deedle, dum, be dum, be dum, da. No Come Again, I learned from the singing of Cathal McConnell from County Fermanagh in Ireland. I've run into him from time to time over the years. The world gets really small when you sing and play this kind of music. Cathal is with a great band I'm sure you're all familiar with named Boys of the Loch. So he's taught me many songs, and for him I am grateful. Okay. This is a song about all the angels in our lives, seen and unseen. It's one I wrote a few years back. It's called The Language of Flowers. You speak the language of flowers. You hear them wake in the soft morning hours. With you they dare their secrets to share. You speak the language of flowers. You bring the song of the wind, crying from heaven for you, my friend. Through stormy skies, in your arms it flies. You bring the song of the wind. You find the sparrow that falls when boughs break to you. She calls with broken wings, still she sings. You find the sparrow that falls. You feel the beat of my heart. Though we are ages and lifetimes apart, when oceans are wide and nations divide. You feel the beat of my heart. I see your face in the stars. You walk on moonlight, you drift on clouds. Vision unseen, you float through my dreams. I see your face in the stars. You speak the language of flowers. Okay, if I'm going to be live in the lounge, I need to liven things up. Sorry, not my strong point. I'm in like phase 4 of being vaccinated because I have what you call like soft skills, I think is the term for it, when your essential task that you do is singing old murder ballads. But if there's ever a ballad crisis somewhere, I will be a first responder. I'll just tell you. All right, everyone. This is a fun one. There was this king sitting in his garden all alone when his brother in his ear poured a little bit of henbane. He stole his brother's crown and his money and his widow, but the dead king got up and found his son and said, "Hey, listen, kiddo, I've been killed and it's your duty to take revenge on Claudius. Kill him quick and clean and tell the nation what a fraud he is." The kid says, "Right, I'll do it, but I'll have to play it crafty so that no one will suspect me. I'll kid on that I'm a dafty." So with all except Horatio, and he counts him as a friend, Hamlet, that's the kid he kids on. He's around the bend, but not being ready for obligatory slaughter, he tries to make the new king think that he's gone off his rocker. Gets a rise out of Polonius, tricks poor Ophelia vile, tells Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Denmark's a bleeding jail, and a troupe of traveling actors in line 784 arrive to do a special one-night gig in Elsinore. Hamlet, Hamlet, acting balmy. Hamlet, Hamlet, loves his mommy. Hamlet, Hamlet, hesitating, wonders if the ghost's the cheat, and that is why he's waiting. So Hamlet writes a scene for the players to enact, so Horatio and he can watch to see if Claudius cracks. Well, the play is called The Mousetrap, not the one that's running now, and sure enough, the king walks out before the play is through. So Hamlet's got the proof that Claudius gave his dad the dose, the only problem being now that Claudius knows he knows. So while Hamlet tells his mommy her new husband's not a fit one, Uncle Claude puts out a contract with the English king as hitman. Then Hamlet kills Polonius on the corpus on flagrant delicti. Was the king's excuse to send him for an English hempen necktie with Rosencrantz and Guildenstern to make quite sure he got there. But Hamlet jumped the boat and put the finger straight on that pair. When Laertes heard his dad had been stabbed through an arras, he came running back to Elsinore, toot sweet, hot foot from Paris, and Ophelia with the dad killed by the man she was to marry. After saying it with flowers, she committed Harry-Carry. Then Laertes lost his place and was demanding retribution, and the king says, "Keep your head and I'll provide you a solution." So he arranged a sword fight for the interested parties, with a blunted sword for Hamlet and a sharp sword for Laertes. And to make double sure the old belt and suspenders line, he fixed a poisoned sword dipped in a poisoned cup of wine. Well, Hamlet got the sword, but Laertes went and muffed it, 'cause he got stabbed himself and he confessed before he snuffed it. Then Hamlet's mummy drank the wine, and as her face turned blue, Hamlet said, "I believe the king's a baddie through and through, incestuous, murderous, damned Dane." He said to be precise, and made up for hesitating once by killing Claudius twice. He stabbed him with the knife and forced the wine between his lips. He said the rest is silence, and then Hamlet cashed in his chips. They fired a volley over him that shook the topmost rafter laughter. Then Fortinbras, knee-deep in Danes, lived happy ever after. Hamlet, Hamlet, oh that gory Hamlet, Hamlet, end of story. Hamlet, Hamlet, I'm on my way. If you thought that was boring, you should read the bloody play. Caitlin liked that. That was written by Adam McNaughton. Adam is a gentleman from Glasgow, Scotland, who taught school for many years. He taught literature, and he was just trying to find a way to make Shakespeare accessible to his students. And I think it's the best use of a liberal arts degree I've ever heard of in my entire life. So, we've got time for a couple of more songs, and I know at this point we've all gotten over our shyness. I know I have, pretty much, and you'd probably like to join me on this one, wouldn't you? Yes. Did you hear that, audience? What was that again here? Yeah, okay. It has a chorus, and you'll learn it quickly, and especially by about, say, verse 380, I think you'll really have it. And it's one we all learned in 4th grade, or at least I did. O Shenandoah, I long to see you. Away, hey, you rolling river. O Shenandoah, I long to see you. Away, I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. For 7 years I courted Nancy. Away, hey, you rolling river. No other girl would suit my fancy. Away, I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. She would not have me for her lover. Way, hey, you rolling river. But I never courted any other. Away, I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. One day she went to Kansas City. Away, hey, you rolling river. And there she had a little baby. Away, I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. She must have had another lover. Way, hey, you rolling river. It must have been that cavalry soldier. are here at the historic Folly Theater in Kansas City, Missouri, not far from the great banks of the wide Missouri River we were just singing about. So I would like to thank you all so much for coming out this evening. It means more to me and to all of us. I would say more than you can imagine, but of course you can't imagine during this time of isolation and I will say hardship for many people. It's such a blessing to come together here at the Folly. So I hope everyone will take a moment to pause and make a donation to Folly in any amount that you would like to. It would be most appreciated, and we'll keep everything going in this beautiful space, both in the lounge and in the great theater and in the building projects that you have coming up too. Thank you also, Kelly Doherty, for contacting me about doing this. I was at a camp in Yellowstone in the winter when you approached me, I think at least, and maybe just after we talked about it, and so there wasn't much communication. But here I am. Thank you for your faith in me. Stephanie, thank you so very much. Gail, Kaylin, thank you for your help, and I think your mother Sherilyn is out here. Hi, nice to meet you. I hear you started coming to hear me with your daughter when she was 4.
Yes.
So you and I were probably just 7 or 8 at that time. Thanks for sticking with it. It's wonderful. I just thank you again very much for everything and for being here. And Lee, thank you for doing the sound this evening, for your kindness. We worked together once many years ago at the Lead Center, and now we're doing it again. And I thank you very much. Just a byproduct of my golden years, but it's really nice to see you again, and I appreciate the wonderful audio that you've provided. Okay, we're going to sing along now that we're all warmed up. It's a song that needs to be sung by Stephen Foster. Let us pause in life's pleasures and count its many tears while we all sob sorrow with the poor. There's a song that will linger forever in our ears. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. As we seek mirth and beauty and music light and gay, there are frail forms fainting at the door. Though their voices are silent, their pleading looks do say, oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. There's a pale drooping maiden who toils her life away with the worn heart whose better days are o'er. Though her voice would be merry, she's sighing all the day. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis a sigh that is wafted across the troubled wave. 'Tis a wail that is heard upon the shore. 'Tis a hymn that is murmured around the hopeful grave. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. Oh, hard times again no more. Thank you all so much here at the Ballad Theater in Kansas City. It's been a joy. Take care, and we'll see you next time.